All right, welcome to the Journey 2020. I'm Charles Morris. Happy to have you here with us on this Monday evening, coming off the weekend. And I wanted to say that this was Bikers Weekend. Had a chance to go over to Daytona, and I actually was doing some fishing. And had forgotten that it was Bikers Weekend. And I've been riding my bike since I was 18 years old, and it brought back a bunch of memories. And I realized a couple of years ago that I must be getting old because I went over to Bike Weekend, and it was too crowded, too noisy, and the traffic was terrible. So I was like, I need to go home. So I must be getting old. But still, it's good to go out and see people enjoying themselves on their bikes and hope that everyone had a successful trip back home. Again, I'm Charles Morris, and this is the Journey 2020, where we come to you every Monday from 7 to 8 p.m. You know, for those who are familiar with the show, you are used to also seeing Dr. Robinson, who said that he needed to take some time off for a while, and that he moved into a new building with new blessings on the way. So we always wish him well. Looking forward to him coming back, paying a visit once in a while. And speaking of Dr. Robertson's, one of his associates decided to come and join us, and someone that I've been trying to get to come on the show. And I really, honestly, and look at me, I'm telling you the truth, I had to strangle her to make her come on the show. So I had to grab her by her hair, which I think she really liked. But anyway, I wanted to welcome you to the show. How you doing, Miss Meeks?
I am doing great.
Yeah.
It's great to be here, finally.
Now, as I was saying, you with Robertson and Associates, and what I forgot to say is you need to make sure that you tune in and you stay tuned, because today we're talking about sex. How lucky am I, right? So, with that being said, why don't you give us a little background on who you are and where you're from?
And you can tell that it's a topic that is dear to his heart. You see the smile, your face lit up.
Oh, did
yes,
you
I noticed that.
did you say dear to my heart or dear to your heart? I think it's, well, anyway, we won't get into it. Yeah. Okay.
My name is Kathy Meeks. I am a marriage and family therapist at Robertson Associates. Board certified sex therapist.
Okay.
And doctoral candidate in clinical sexology.
Oh, and you just gonna leave it like that?
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, can we talk more about the myth?
Actually, I am far from a freak, but I do enjoy great sex, if that's what you're asking. But just to tell you a little bit about my background, grew up in a Christian home, did Christian counseling for a very long time.
Those are the most freaks. Those are the most freaks. But go. those are the most freaks. But yeah, go ahead.
I realized that
Closet freaks. Closet freaks.
I don't know about closet freaks. I think
Quiet freaks. Yeah, go ahead. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
of origin, sometimes give us an image of sex that is not accurate. And as a result, I find that so many people are not enjoying great sex.
Okay.
And I just think sex is a gift from God that should be enjoyed.
I truly agree with her. No.
So that's my take on it.
Right. But see, I mean, I'm teasing and joking with her. But the reason why I wanted her to come on the show, honestly, because I'm going to tease. Of course, we're teasing and joking, but
yeah.
the reason why I wanted her to come on the show is because of something that you're starting and something that you want to get going, and we want it to be part of the show monthly, hopefully. And won't you tell us what that is?
It's a workshop that will center around healthy relationships, healthy sexuality. So we'll be covering a broad range of topics, things that affect couples, such as communication, such as sexual dysfunctions, such as the myth that intimacy, sex, and love, that they're the same thing. They're really not. You can have sex without intimacy. So we want to clarify some of those things. Most of the issues that everyday people are encountering, we'll be covering those things. It will be structured, so on a weekly basis, if we're covering something like pornography, it will be advertised so people know the topic that we'll be covering. If it's intimacy, so many people have no idea what that is. They think sex is intimacy. It's not. Some of the sexual dysfunctions, we have so many women who have never experienced an orgasm.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk about that. It will be safe where people can talk about those things. What are some of the things that are preventing women from having orgasm? No woman should ever have to fake an orgasm. So we will
I totally agree.
covering those topics. Why do they think? We'll even cover monogamy, some of the different types of relationships, polyamory, what works for you.
So where are you looking to find your clients? People to come, I guess, and attend.
We will be doing advertising on the internet,
Mm-hmm.
word of mouth, like your radio show,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll be calling on some people to advertise it, because you'll be amazed at how many marriages are in trouble, or how many people are having difficulty. People are having difficulty finding a man, and they think that some women say they're too cute, and different reasons why they can't find a man. Well, what about looking at what's going on?
Women. Hold on. No.
This is just something somebody said today, and it just popped into my head.
Oh, what? Somebody told somebody that they're too cute.
Well, no, it was somebody came in and she is having difficulty making connection with, and having a satisfying relationship. And what she stated was that men are intimidated by her beauty. So, some of those myths we want to shatter.
Next time she come into your office, call me.
Well,
No. And I don't mean it the way that it sounds, but I would love to give her a male perspective on that.
Right.
And not that I know anything, but I know that game. No, and I'm serious. Anyway, I'm sorry
No.
no.
And we will have guests too. So
Okay.
address some of those issues.
Because
It is sad.
well, that opens up so much, because there's so much to that. I mean, it's just not that simple, cut and dry.
It's not. And that's where the mental issues come in. And misbeliefs.
Right. Okay. Well, I wanted to ask you, you want to do this once a month?
Oh, absolutely.
Or twice a month? What?
Let's start over with once a month. Let's see how that goes.
All right.
But marriages are in trouble, so who knows?
Wow.
You have so many couples who are married, and you would think that they're having a satisfying relationship, and they're roommates, they're strangers.
Mm-hmm.
So, we want to address those issues.
Well, there's a lot of myths and a lot of things, and we're so different when it comes to men and women, and what we learn and what we expect when it comes to the relationship, especially when you're young. There's many stories that I can tell you, because when I tell my story to a lot of my friends, they look at me like this. Like, really?
I look at you sideways too.
Yeah. Well, that's because when I tell them about how naive I was when it comes to my relationships, because I was just doing what I was doing, and I had no idea. Because now over the last few years, I'm trying to find people that I have to apologize to. Because I'm.
I know where this is going.
No.
This is interesting.
No, seriously, because there are people, there's women that I've called, and there's like 2 people that I'm still trying to get in contact with, that I'm trying to say I'm sorry, because I had no idea that these feelings were involved, that they cared about me in the way that they did, because I was clueless. I didn't have a clue that you know, like this person who wanted to marry me, and I'm looking at her like, yeah, right, you know. And I just walked and say, you know, I'm up in Boston, and I'm getting ready to go home. And I knocked on the door. Hey, Doris, I'm getting ready to go back to Florida. I'm just wanting to let you know I'm leaving. And she looked at me like, you leaving? Yeah, I'm going home. And now previously she had said something about how she felt, but I wasn't listening to it. She had said something about a marriage. I wasn't listening to it because, you know, and you know, because I didn't see her feeling that way about me. I didn't know any of that was even in the mix. So I just was saying bye to her, and I went back to go pack up my things, and she at my door knocking. And I'm looking at her like you coming to help me pack? What, you know? And I'm looking, I still remember the look on her face, you know? But I was clueless that this woman she was in love with me. I had no idea. It wasn't until I got older that I understood, and because the look always stayed. And like, I give you an example, something so simple. When I was in 9th grade, my girlfriend that I had ever since I was 7. So now I'm in 9th grade. So now I got another girlfriend. But I'm saying, and she said something to me about 2 years ago that kind of validated something, because I didn't know, because she said some things about when we were kids and how she felt that I had no idea, how she truly felt about me, because we started dating when I was 7, she was 6.
How can you start dating at 7 and 6?
She was my girlfriend when I was 7 years old. She you know, she lived next door, and all these things we did together.
Yeah.
No, she was my girlfriend.
Okay.
She's the girl who taught me how to kiss. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and I'm leaving.
How precocious there. But continue.
She's a good kisser.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, I'm 7. So now I'm 14. So now I'm going to school across town, and actually where she lived, I was there every weekend, all of the holidays, and the entire summer. So that's when she saw me, and when I was over there with my friends, with my grandma and my dad. Other times during the week going to school, I was across town with my mom. So now that we're older, I'm in 9th grade, and there's this girl who likes me. Her name's Carolyn Shingles. Carolyn Shingles.
Call her name.
Yeah, Carolyn Shingles. And so now so I'm dating Carolyn, right? And so I'm really not thinking about my relationship with the girl at 7 anymore, because we're still friends and we still hanging out, but not like because we're getting older now, blah, blah, blah. So that part, then, because, you know, so I never, and I'm telling you this because I never will forget that I had the yearbook. And I was showing them, our friends among ourselves, her picture. And I showed it to her. And it's still to this day the look on her face when she looked at the picture. And she said, "Oh, she is cute, but I remember the look on her face."
And you had no clue.
I had no clue. And then she validated something about a year or so ago, because she probably don't even remember that.
Means that you're clueless.
Right. So she said, no, I'm saying she said something in reference to what it meant when she saw my dad pull in and I'm sitting in the car, because him coming to pick me up, and what that meant, how she was sitting in the window waiting. And see, I never knew any of that. And she was just saying some things in general, and I'm sitting there like this right here. I'm like, and I keep going back to that look on her face, because I had no idea.
Disappointment, hurt.
Right, whatever, because I'm looking at her and I didn't understand it, but I remember the look. And so what I'm saying is, when it comes to relationships and men and that kind of thing, a lot of times we're naive to things. And I can go on and tell you some other things in relationship. As a matter of fact, when I got older and I would go home, there was girls, you know how you sitting around and you talking to your old friends and they talking about, yeah, I dated Charles. And I'm looking at her, they're like, when did we date? But now that I understand what dating is to women, I don't say anything anymore.
Yeah.
I let them have their moment in that sense, because to me, it's like, I dated you when? That's what I was saying to myself. But I learned not to say anything because to them, we were dating. To me, we was just hanging out.
Yeah. And that's such a problem, because for men, and that's the reason why you have so many women who are disappointed and hurt, because let's talk about sex for a minute. For a man, it's just physical. They can have sex with a woman, get up, leave, and it means nothing to them. For the woman, it happens. She's already planning a wedding. She is already planning how many children she's going to have, the house that she's going to live, because women process those things different.
Yeah,
They develop that emotional connection.
I had a girlfriend who had picked out furniture and everything else. And boy, when I told her that I was moving in with another friend of mine, another female, she slapped the crap out of me. Bye, one of them good ones. And I'm like, what the? Yeah. But I'm saying all of that to say that I hope that what you're doing, I hope that the word get out. But I asked, what's one of the major problems that you find in your sessions that is consistent? One of the major problems.
A lack of good communication and the inability to resolve conflicts.
Well, most of us don't know, are not good at resolving I mean, like, for an example, there's a good way to argue, but a lot of us don't know how to argue. Yeah. We don't know how to fight, and I'll say fight because we don't know how to fight. I mean, know how to have a good argument without taking it personal, to understand, like, I'm old enough now, but even so, I can remember my girlfriend that, because I don't like to argue. I don't like to fight.
So you're a poor communicator.
No. Let me tell you what I mean. When it gets hyped, when it starts to raise, I just like to leave and let it cool off. Yeah. And then, but see, I don't hold on to stuff. Yeah. See, you got people that hold on to stuff. So I had a girlfriend that...
Define, what do you mean by hold on to stuff?
Because it's done and over and they still want to argue about it.
Here's the thing.
Okay.
Anything that is buried alive never dies. So if something happens and it affects that woman, she's not going to have peace until it's resolved. Because if she stuffs her emotion, what's going to happen? It's going to stay under the surface and it smolders.
Well,
so as soon as something happens, guess what? It erupts in World War III. So that's why you have to know how to manage conflicts.
But you're saying a lot, but there's stuff, and this is what I mean. Okay, that is very true. But what I'm saying is, there are times when you think you have resolved it and you think it's done, and they still holding on to stuff and they still want to bring it up, is what I'm saying. That's what I meant by that, because when the argument's over and you think that it's over, I mean, you see what I'm saying? Because you're done with it. You've talked.
Yeah, you walk away and it's done.
No.
But not for the other person.
Right, because to me, there's nothing else. I mean, you see what I'm saying? You thinking that, okay, we done resolved this, but then when they get pissed off again, they bring it back up. I mean, you see what I'm saying?
And I see what you're saying, and it's going to come back to communication.
But that's what I mean.
It's okay with one person, and if the person did not, it's not, because it takes two. So it may be okay with one person, but if it's not fully resolved with the other person, it's just going to stay there as folders. The moment something happens, oh, you remember this, you should have done this. So that's why it's so important.
Oh.
And set boundaries, because you can say to the person, now let's talk about this. Is there anything else that you need to discuss right now?
Whoa, wait a minute, hold on, wait a minute now. Wait, no, hold on, wait a minute. How many people have those kind of skills and patience? Right. So how many people, well, hold on, dear. Now, most people don't have those kind of skills. Most people are just trying to get out of this darn argument because to be like, you getting on my nerves one more time. That's where we are the majority of the time. Most people don't have those kind of skills.
That's why they need to come to the workshop so we can teach them those skills.
Because I'm telling you, now see, now you want to know, you want to know what's funny? What's funny is when you get men in the room and women in the room, and then the men kind of gather to themselves, and then the women gather to themselves, and generally the conversation is always the same. Whether you're married, where you got single men with married men, generally the conversation when they're women, when their wives or girlfriends are there. Men conversations are usually the same. I don't know if you know that.
Oh, I know that.
And generally it's kind of like it's kind of like man, you gonna survive this? Oh, man, I'm trying, man. I mean, you know why I'm here? Yeah, because I really didn't have no choice. But yeah, how you doing? No, and I'm not saying it in a bad way. I'm just saying generally when men get together in this, and then the wives of the girlfriend, the conversation is usually the same. And then believe it or not, women don't know that it's kind of like a support group. It's kind of like a support group. Kind of like, man, you all right, man? Yeah, I'm all right, man. Yeah. I'm just saying. But that's how it is. But men are so simple, and women make it way more complicated than what we are. And I always say, the only thing complicated about a man is his woman.
I'm going to clarify that. You're saying that women are complicated. I would say we're complex and we're the better version of men.
Well, no. I would no. But I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, because men are simple. If you want to understand a man, break it down to the lowest denominator and take away 2.
And it's only a pity most men don't realize that they really do need that women, and that
No. It's not that they don't realize that. No. Of course they realize it.
But they're just stubborn.
Well,
Because they need us.
right. But see, what you don't understand, what most women don't understand, if you understood it, you would be able to help yourself a lot more. And that is, God gave man steps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He gave you 7, 8, and 9. Because once we're at 6, we're kind of like, ugh. He knows how he feels. He knows what he'll do and what he won't do, in the sense of what he'll do for his family. But when he is at the height of giving it and expressing to his best ability, she wants steps 7, 8, and 9. He throws his hand up and he don't know what to do.
And that's when there is not partnership. That's the reason why the man, you have to be, it's teamwork with both people realizing that they need each other. I do believe that when man was created, God realized that he needed someone, and when he made the woman, she was really the better version, because she realizes that they would become I have to say that.
I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree. I agree with everything you just said. But the point of it is that women don't understand.
The man needs to
No. See, that's what I'm trying to get you to understand. No. That's the part you don't understand. We're not really capable of getting past. See, you trying to get me to 7. God didn't give me 7. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. Everything you saying is true, but you want 7, 8, and 9. I don't have that.
I'm not gonna get that from you.
I don't have it. God didn't give me that. He gave that to you. That's why you can tame the beast. That's your gift that God gave you.
You know something? That's a valid point you're making, because I wish if more women would realize the power they have in relationships.
They clueless.
Harness that power.
They clueless.
So there is some validity.
You can get anything you want from a man. And see, we're kind of getting off, but I'll say this right here.
We're not getting off, by the way. This is good.
Okay. What they don't understand is this right here. Who I am, in the sense when God created me, and let me put it to you like this right here. When God created me, He didn't create, there was no Lexus in the garden.
Okay.
There was no Gucci, Fiorucci. There was no homes on the hills and blah, 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 blah. That evolved into mankind. So our judgment and value of who I am and what you are based on these things that has nothing to do with my existence and who I really am. As in the sense that when I go out into the world and when I need to hunt and come back with what I need in order to have food, water, and shelter. That wasn't, no. What I'm saying is this right here. We have evolved into these things of ourselves who your inability, because your judgment is on a Lexus. That's how you judge me. You look at me from how much your purse costs, how much your shoes cost, the house you live in, how much money you make. When God made man in our relationship and how we supposed to be from the foundation up has nothing to do with that. But that's what we have evolved into. So you can't look at me for who I am first, then deal with life and what it is.
You know, that is very deep. And that's why in my marriage sessions, one of the first things that I try to get people to articulate is their core values.
Mm-hmm.
And if you know what your core values are, and you know what your partner's core values are, that marriage can work. But so many times couples get bogged down with the external values. That's the house, the money, the success, the car, and all those things. And those things are really not fundamental.
Well, you can lose those things like that.
Exactly.
And see,
You are right.
and so when the storm comes, they have no foundation.
They have no
So
foundation.
when the storm comes, they can just be washed away because there's nothing to hold them down. So they have no substance.
You are absolutely
So
right.
that's what I mean. And so what I was trying to say is what God gave me in understanding a man and his ego. And this is and I'm talking to a woman, and I'm saying this right here to you. The creation in me as a man and what God gave me, right? So the ego, well, you can't separate it because it's to your benefit. Now, unfortunately, we don't deal more so in understanding the spirits because we're more spirit than we are physical.
Correct.
Okay, so if the spirit is not that in which it is holy, that spirit can take you anywhere. All right? It's very arrogant, it's very dominant, it's very a lot of things. But that same spirit is this right here. If I'm sitting down at the table in the restaurant and somebody comes in and they start shooting, guess what? That spirit says, I got to protect my family. Guess what? I've been shot. Guess what? I got to get up and protect my family. It's the same spirit, but you don't know how to tap into that arrogance to your benefit, because it's there to want. I mean, something as simple as whatever life is that has broken me down. I'm broken, right? What I say about you being able to tame the beast, God gave you and him his spirit to get my crackhead butt up off that couch and become the man that you know that I should be if I see in you what I need to see. Didn't say it was easy. I didn't say it wasn't hard work, but it's in you to whatever that was that broke me to mend that together where you would have a testimony. But that's not how we operate. Because we don't, just like you said, you don't understand your power, because the storm is going to come and it's going to keep you blind to who you really are.
Absolutely. And you said tame the beast, and women need to understand that that's your innate quality. Women are it's not the woman being rah, 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 hear me roar, that's going to tame the beast.
Kathy, no. I'll give you another example. All right. When I say to you, a man and what a woman and what we have become. Okay. What's in front of me? A man is confused. Totally confused. Because as a man, I know how to deal with conflict. When I see conflict in front of me, I know how to knock it out. Okay? That's in me by nature. So when another man is, we know how to, right? So now what's in front of me, coming at me, dealing with me, that's another man. I see a woman, but the spirit, the actions, the words, and all of that is that of a man. Now, I'm totally confused, because I know as a man, what I see coming, I know how to just pick up a baseball bat and hit him across the head. I know how to kick him, spit on him, kick him. Now I'm looking at, like, what is this in front of me? What is this? So should I tackle it? Should I talk to it? Should I, but I'm saying conflict. Who Dad didn't really teach me how to deal with conflict. I see it, I see movies, I watch wrestling, I do all this other stuff. So now the world is a different place. And people, when you don't understand your power, when you don't understand because see, and this is like, and I guarantee you, now with what you do in your field, I want you to do this. Research why most men are in prison. And I guarantee you, it's going to have something to do with a woman. I guarantee you. You know why? Because he's going to try to portray himself as this and that and this, which goes back to trying to look for an image to impress a woman. I guarantee you. So who I am, how I see myself, and how I judge myself, and the standard of my manhood is through your eyes.
I'm going to touch on something, because I don't want to go off too much on that. I'm going to go back to creation. When God created man, He created Eve to be a helpmeet. So the Bible says that women should submit to men.
They don't know what that means.
And I think a lot of women, they don't understand what that submission means.
Right.
And some men also abuse their power.
That's what I meant by that spirit.
But what the woman is supposed to do when the man has an idea, that woman is to talk to her man And sometimes there may be disagreement because as long as you are in relationships with people, there will be conflict. Learning how to resolve those conflicts
Right.
is what will make the difference. So in the man-woman relationship, when there is the man wants to portray some way and the woman is not in agreement with it, that man is supposed to go and pray. That's what the Bible says. And then he needs to come back to the woman with the right spirit and then resolve it. Because when there is confusion, it takes two. Because men sometimes, they do abuse their power with the woman.
Well, yeah, of course.
They're like, oh, you should submit to me, so this is what goes. We are strong women. We are also made in God's image. We can think rationally for ourselves.
True.
So we should be respected by the man, honored.
But Kathy, let me say this to you as well.
Yeah.
Earlier when I spoke of the ego and the arrogance and the spirituality, and when I was talking about if it's not the right spirit.
Yeah.
Okay? Because that spirit can be something extremely negative. That spirit can be extremely evil if it's not channeled in the right direction. So that's what makes the difference of someone who can come in. I mean, that same spirit is the same person who will come in. That same spirit, that same ego is the same one that come in and shoot up the room.
Oh yeah.
It's the same. It's the same spirit that will take and rape you and cut you and it's the same spirit. It's the same spirit. So it's to what degree is that spirit and what is that spirit? So I think also what's sad is that a lot of women don't even know what agape love is. They have no clue. And they don't know what it is, what's in me to love you. But then again, I don't see it to love you. And what I mean by that, let me tell you what I mean.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what I mean by that. And I'm speaking in the sense of what we talked about earlier. And what I meant by you can tame.
A woman can tame a beast.
Right. So what I mean by that is it's not an issue of when the storm comes. It's what I see when the storm comes.
Yeah.
You don't give me any, and I'm speaking in general.
Yeah.
So when there's a conflict, you're going to be
Head to head with you. The woman wants to go head to head.
well head to head, but the conflict comes from what we talked about earlier. She gonna lose her Lexus.
So who cares? Is it right? I see that's the problem.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. So when the conflict comes, it's not about I'm gonna lose my queen.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lose my queen that's complaining about the Lexus. See, she's gonna complain. The queen is gonna be, she's not living in the big house. See, the queen is complaining about, see, it's not about we're losing. See, she won't complain about losing her fellowship with God, but she'll sure enough can complain about losing her Lexus. Or vice versa, because it works both ways.
It does.
Okay, so what I'm saying is when the storm comes and there's no foundation and you have nowhere to go but, man, I got to deal with the bank. I got to do this. And you know what? I'll tell you a neat story. Is that when I had my show, and I wish I can find them, and I wish I can find the show because I got that show somewhere. I used to have a show on Orange TV years ago, and I did this story on this couple that was homeless. I don't know where or how they found each other, but they had two beautiful daughters. And you could tell because when they were on the set, the girls were just sitting there over there and they were just smiling, quiet. They were young. But as they told their story that they had a house and he was doing landscaping, but his shoulders kept popping out of place. He had to go to the doctor, and the medical bills got high, and every time something would happen, his shoulder would just pop out. So they end up homeless. They end up living in a car, and a friend had a place up in Chicago. Well, they went up to Chicago. Well, guess what? They didn't have any money to pay for the electricity, so now it's cold. They was living in a car that they came back, and they end up at a homeless shelter. And he was on a show at the time when he came on the show where they would be, the show that he was on was they would be, there was like 5 of them left, and within the 5, they would pick out one that they would build a house for, whatever show that was. But what was so magnificent that I found, and when I was interviewing that couple, just her spirit was like, this is my husband and this is my family. Now, I don't know what was being said behind closed doors, but if it was something negative, you never saw it in her spirit and how she felt, or how she truly felt. Because her smile, her demeanor, of course it hurts him as a man, but they were together with their 2 daughters. And they were together.
The operative word, together.
They were together, fighting this storm.
Yeah, together.
Together. Yes. And it's so funny because when that show, like 3 months later, people were calling me, how that couple doing? How that couple doing? I said, because I called them like a month later, they were still at the homeless shelter. But like 3 months later, they were gone. And I don't know where they went to. And to this day, from time to time, I still think about them in the sense of, I wonder what happened to them. But that couple, you didn't pick up on, you're sorry, it's no good, no good. Her demeanor, her spirit, she was explaining about how difficult it was for him with his shoulders, how she was trying and she was having some problems, how medically all these bills piling up and how they got behind and how they were trying to make it work and how they were trying to do the right thing. And they went there, and this is where they are now, but we gonna make it work. They were a family. And see, and I'm gonna share something with you. I worked at a radio station. I worked at quite a few. But one of the board ops, her name Dana, I always remember Dana was this sweet little girl. And I used to try and talk with Dana because Dana got played a couple of times. I'm like, Dana, he playing you. Well, he just want me to make the car payment. Dana, he playing you. So you trying to talk to Dana. Dana ended up getting pregnant from one of the guys that I was trying to talk her into. Dana, he playing you. So Dana, she was this cute little white girl who was just, nice girl, just naive. Dana. So we call him Mr. Cub, white guy from the Chicago area, also worked at the station. He started dating her when she was pregnant from the other guy. And then he ended up marrying her and basically adopting the child. And when he was dating her, I used to look at him and said, man, I wish I was a man like you. Because it would take a man to have that mindset. It would take a man to put aside all these feelings and emotions and whatever that is that you can't step up to the plate and not put her in the place of saying, this is a woman that I could love. And I was saying, what do I need to do to become that kind of man? Because I admired him for that. Because I was like, man, how do you do that? And I was trying to figure out, like, how could I get past myself to be that guy? And I admired him so much to this day. And they probably still together. But to be that man, that's a man.
That is a man.
Right.
Because the essence of who she was captured his attention.
And
he wasn't looking at the external.
Right, because she was very nice, she was very naive, very loving, very kind. And she got pregnant, and she found, and you trying to tell her, Dana, this guy's no good. Now she finds out, because he left her. She paid a couple of car notes and used her for her money. And, but she learned the hard way. And then she got pregnant from the guy. And but I mean, they got married, and then I think he may have went back up to Chicago. But I say that to say that I really admired him, and that maybe I probably could be there now, but back then I wasn't there. But before you go, because I know you keep looking at your watch.
But I didn't, but I'll look at it now.
Right, but listen, before you go, tell us how we can contact you, and tell us when you would like to start what is it that your sessions or your meetings, or what we need to do to make that happen.
Well, we are planning on having it on a Friday afternoon. We haven't really completed. We will send out. You will advertise it on your show as well, but it should start up in April. Our first trial run will be in April next month, the third Friday.
Okay.
That's our target date right now. My contact information is Robertson Associates, 407, office number 407-297-1185. My direct number is 407-719-0610.
Well, let me ask you this right here. I mean, and I know that you're just starting off, but maybe we can also work it out where we could do it where it's on social media, where we can get people interacting on social media as well.
Great idea.
So not only would we have some people locally that could be here on social media, but people from around the world. And I'm pretty sure that you probably you would love to, because I would, like I ask you, is in all of your sessions, are there anything that really shock you anymore? Is there anything that shock you anymore?
Nothing at all shocks me.
Nothing.
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 I've heard it all. I think I've heard it all. Or most.
Right.
I've heard so many things.
Right when you said you heard it all, you're gonna hear something
I'm
to go.
gonna hear something, and I will not be shocked.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure. Because I've heard some very bizarre things, and I'm like, okay.
How do you when you hear something really bizarre, how do you keep your straight face?
I take a non-judgmental attitude.
No. We are not talking about judging nobody. We're by nature.
Because that's my mindset. I'm in therapy.
Judging is not judging. Judging is going, what? I mean, inside your mind, you're going, whoa, what?
I think I've perfected the art. Now tell me more.
How many times?
Because you don't want the person.
No. I got that. But how many times have you said that, going, ooh, I like that. Ooh.
And then I said, what the? Did I just hear that? Yeah, that has happened.
Now, how often? And I don't, not in the sense of names or that type of thing. How often have you been in session and hearing a story where somebody was totally out of their comfort zone, involving in something that they really didn't want to be, something that they really didn't want to be doing, but I'm doing it because this is my mate?
Oh, all the time. I hear that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's more common than not.
Wow. That's, yeah. I mean, wow.
You'd be surprised. Yeah. It's not who they are, but they're doing it just because it's what the mate wants.
Okay, how on the scale, let's just say it's how would you say that, how often is it more of the woman and the guy is kind of like tagging along versus the male? I mean
I would say 70% of the time it's the woman.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, really? Wow, I would have thought it would have been the other way.
Wait a minute. What was your repeat what you just said?
No, 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 no. It's the woman that wants to do something odd, and the man is tagging along. So,
No, it's usually the man who
okay,
wants to
okay,
do something odd. I
okay,
misunderstood.
okay, okay,
I thought
okay,
you meant the
okay,
woman
okay. All right.
was
That's
okay. Yeah, and it's the same, the 70%.
right, right. Let me tell you how smart one of my friends, right? Somebody that I know, we've been knowing for a long time, and I know her pretty well. It's interesting. I won't really say, but I know a side. I know a side of her that her husband don't know, and and I don't have anything. I haven't had anything to do with her since she got married.
Okay.
Okay, I had nothing to do with it, but I tease her about it because she's kind of on the wild side, but her husband don't.
She's not being authentic though.
Right, but right, right. So I tease her about it, and we laugh, and but this is her story. She said, he came to me. This is her. He came to me, and he wanted to bring somebody else into the bedroom. I was like, oh really? I was like, but she's smart, and so she said, oh, okay, all right.
Let me bring a man too.
Right, no.
She said that.
Right. No, right. So.
Is that what she said?
Right, but this is how she did it though. He said, let's bring somebody else into the bedroom. So she said, oh, okay, all right, okay. But first, we're gonna bring Derek, which is one of his friends, who she says is a very handsome guy. So he wanted to do this, right? So he said, no. Before we do anything, let's bring Derek. That idea went away right away.
I'm telling you, I like her. That's what and I actually would say to women, if it's not something that you are comfortable with, tell him that you want to bring someone.
Right, and that's what that's how.
That will shut it
right,
down.
and then she said she ain't hear no more about it. It was done, over with. So she no. We gotta bring Derek. No, if we gonna do if you gonna bring somebody, then we gotta bring Derek.
Yeah. Don't be upset, and that's why I tell women, you have more power than you think.
Right.
Because he comes to you with that entertainment and said, but this is what we're going to do first.
Mm-hmm. Right. Oh, okay. So again, give out your information.
Okay. Office number 407-297-1185. We are open Monday through Friday from 9 to 5. My direct number is 407-719-0610.
Okay. Now, you being a sex therapist, I just the idea of sex therapist.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh man. What inspired you to become a sex therapist since she claiming she not freaky?
No, I didn't say that.
I'm glad she cleared that up.
I started out as a marriage and family therapist.
Okay.
And there was really a need because so many women were coming in and saying they've never had an orgasm. Some men were saying the men were blaming themselves. They didn't know what to do.
Okay.
So I thought to myself, there's got to be something to this. So then I decided that I needed to study a little bit more.
Oh, wow.
Because some men, they don't even know about the female's body. They don't know where to touch. They think it's,
Well,
it's
that's
a marathon they're running.
well, that's because we're wired differently.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So we don't. That God didn't make us that way.
Yeah, so the
So-
man thinks
so-
they're running a marathon, and the woman thinks that she needs to fake an orgasm.
Well,
So there's a disconnect.
right. And so when you don't understand the woman's body and the complexity of what it is, our mentality and what we think you guys like and want is something totally different than right. So when you don't understand that, and when you don't understand that how one body is different than the other, and that it does take time, it does take communication, then you're missing out, because men are kind of like, I need to get in, I need to get out.
I need to get in.
I need to get in, I need to get out. And women, bodies don't work that way. And then to show you just how complex a woman body is and how frustrating it is for men, because men really don't have that kind of patience. Just when you think you found it and you go back, it done moved. It's somewhere else now. Men will be like, oh no, this is too complicated. So when you don't understand that concept, and when you don't have patience, and when you can't pay attention and listen and observe, then you're gonna have some problems.
And you know, I have to say this because I find this a lot with more women so than men. Women don't understand their own bodies.
True.
They don't. So they expect the man to perform miracles when they themselves don't even know what's pleasurable to them. So, I mean, both sexes have to take responsibility for their own orgasms.
Amen. Amen. I really agree with that concept. I totally don't. I mean, you won't get any arguments from me on that. But what's the oldest couple that you've counseled?
You know, it's interesting. She's in therapy right now. She is I think. Okay, she is 79 years old, but her husband is 59 something. There's a huge age gap of about 20 years.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So, ooh. Okay, I won't.
And interestingly, she's complaining because she thinks he's lazy. She was a dancer and she's been married a couple times. So, I mean, she's had a vibrant life.
Okay.
So she, even though she's at this,
Okay.
even though she's at this stage of her life, she still wants to dance. She still wants to do things. And he thinks that sitting on the couch is enough, and it's satisfying to her, and it's not. So that's why they're in therapy right now.
What is so hard for him to understand? What is? I mean, what is?
This is like different culture too. There's a cultural difference.
How long have they been married? Well, wait a minute. Culture different. What I mean by that is, a woman is a woman and a man is a man. A woman is a woman.
Communicate. You know, they have difficulty communicating. Different beliefs, because culture is not necessarily about a place. It's about a certain set of beliefs that a group of people hold on to. So, I mean, he just believes that when you get to a certain stage, there are certain activities that you should not participate in. That's his belief system.
He sounds like he comatose.
He's close to that. He really is. He really is.
Wow, that's crazy. But anyway, let me see. I'm hoping to have you back. What is this? March?
March the 19th.
So I'm hoping to have you back sometime in the middle of April.
Okay.
And we're going to try to push this thing and try to get more people involved. We will have more interaction from Facebook and Periscope.
Yeah, I do love that.
Right? And so I'm pretty sure there are plenty of people that will have plenty of questions.
Oh, yeah.
I have some questions myself.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay, all right.
And, you know, I should mention about the workshops that we are going to have guests, and I would love to have you join the conversation.
Oh.
And just add your experiences with women. That should be.
Oh, easy. Women are simple. You know, it's just, you know, women are simple. I mean, it doesn't take much. I mean, you know,
You think so?
oh, come on, you know what I mean? Women, see, all you have to do.
Yeah, we're going to have fun. I mean,
No, but seriously, when it comes to just men.
see how you do with a group of women. How about that?
Oh, yeah, oh, that would be so much fun.
Your element.
That would be so. And then now, hey, the only one thing is what you should do is as a sidebar, make sure that you have a poll in your sessions. See, don't you think that's a good idea?
That's a great idea. It's a great exercise.
Yeah.
Who are
Yeah.
lethargic, who have them go on the poll. That's a great idea.
Yeah. You know, this is. See, no, I'm serious because this is something that you, as far as just use it as like a tease joke thing to kind of lighten the mood and and make it a little bit more fun.
Yeah.
Find out who got extra skills.
There you go. It's exciting, though. I'm looking forward to it.
All right, that's Kathy Meeks. She is with Robinson and Associates. She is a sex therapist, among other things, and she tells me that she can cook.
I do. I'm a great cook.
All right. Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess I'll never know because that sister don't ever bring anything to work, from the kitchen. When I see stuff there at the office, it's always because somebody done ordered something because that sister ain't cooked nothing. All right.
You need to talk to them about my jerk chicken that I bring up.
Wait a minute. No. So no. When are you gonna bring some jerk chicken?
Listen.
No. When are you gonna bring the jerk chicken?
I'll call you and tell you. I make my jerk chicken is
People,
the bomb.
I'm gonna tell you this date.
My oxtail is the bomb too.
Okay, now I was just talking about my old girlfriend from Jamaica.
Really?
Made the best oxtails in the world. Even though she don't talk to me no more, I'm hurt. She makes the best oxtail. Ducky make the best oxtails in the world. I'm serious. I ain't never tasted anybody oxtails like hers.
I can give Ducky a run for her money.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. I'm telling you, I'm serious. She was from Jamaica.
All right.
She's an island girl, man.
All right.
My other Jamaican girlfriend, she used to tease her about some cow foot.
That I can't cook. Yeah.
No, actually, I used to eat her mom's cooking. Her mom used to cook dinner for me on every. No. She used to make the swordfish and plantains, and she used to make the yams for me.
Oh.
The white yams, the yams, and all of that. Yeah. I used to tease. I said, "Boy, y'all put curry in everything. You put curry in your laundry too." But yeah, she's like, yeah. So.
A little bit about the Jamaican.
Oh yeah, I've had a couple of girlfriends from Jamaica. I've had the island experience.
Well, once you go Jamaican, you can't go back. I'm just teasing.
She's trying to show her true colors, right? Island girl. All right. Well, anyway, we look forward to having you come back on the show. Lots of questions I know that will be asked. Okay, and so I'm going to give you some feedback from this show as well because I know that there's going to be some people going like, oh. Okay, and there's always entertainment. There's always questions that we have when it comes to sex.
I know, and that's why I decided that I've got to do something because so many people are interested in the topic.
Well, there's nothing really complicated about sex. God made it really simple. He really did.
Don't even say that because now, we'll address even some kink sex and all that stuff. We're going to get into it. It's not for everybody, so we can get into those things.
Wait a minute. I just said sex was simple. It wasn't complicated. So what? I mean, people, y'all don't see it, but she got books and stuff. And
actually, this was just to read until the show started.
So I'm just saying. So I don't know why she make it so complicated, but anyway, we're gonna invite her back. Thank you for watching us, and at some point in time, we're gonna find out the truth, and whatever the truth is, this is the Journey 2020. Be with us next week, Monday from 7 to 8 p.m. www.thejourney2020.com. You be blessed.